Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's Tracy here from Your Personal Journey with Food, and it's Tough Love Tuesday. I'm your certified integrative nutrition health coach and personal trainer, and I'm really excited to be here tonight with my special guest, Charles Ellis. Hi, Charles. So Charles is coming in from San Diego, and I'm excited to have him here with us tonight. Just as a heads up, the reason I have all these different guests on the show is I am an integrative nutrition health coach. And that means that not only do I discuss with people how important your food is and your physical activity, but there's all other areas of life that are important. And that's your joy, your spirituality, relationships, finances, creativity, social life, and career, education, and all of that is included. So that's why I'm bringing all these really wonderful guests from all different avenues. And you'll notice too that this is also streaming live on YouTube. So if you ever want to go back and watch it on YouTube, we're on YouTube. And then also for those listening on the podcast, it's recorded live. So anything can happen on a live broadcast. So we just kind of go with it and we don't edit anything out. So that's that there. And now again, I would love to introduce you to my guest, Charles Ellis. So, Charles is an author, and he's just written a book called The Fire Within, Transform Your Life. He is also the owner and founder of the Fire Within group. He's an author, speaker, certified life coach, an advisor, a poet, which is pretty neat. I can't wait to talk about that, and a humanitarian. And he, as the author of Fire Within, motivational, inspirational books, and the creator, founder of the Fire Within group, Charles loves helping those with non-traditional work histories and backgrounds, and anyone who has a hard time believing that they have the ability to create their ideal lives. He uses online courses, life coaching, self-help books, and whatever it takes to get his clients to believe in themselves. And his goal is to motivate and inspire the individual to transform their lives and change old paradigms that are not conducive to their best interests. He likewise wants his clients to become the best version of themselves. And so tonight, welcome, Charles. I'm so happy to have you.
Gratitude, Tracy, gratitude. And that's gratitude with a capital G. Thank you for having me on.
Gratitude to have you here. Yeah. So one thing I loved, we met before, I think months ago, and you were so kind to have me on your program. So much gratitude to you for that. But also I realized that we have something very similar, and that we really have embraced the concept that until we step forth or find out who our true self is, it's a bit difficult to achieve the goals and dreams that we may want. So I just want to go ahead and, hear what you have to say about all of that, and the importance of why, it's so important to be you. Everyone else is taken, kind of thing. So how about it?
Okay, absolutely. In our lives, we've been, I guess you would say, we've been conditioned to believe, that we're something else other than who we truly are. The title of my books are the Fire Within books. I've actually written 3. The Fire Within, Right Here, Right Now, because that's when you get started. My second one was the Fire Within. I think I have it over here. Transform Your. And then my newest one was the Fire Within, 30 Days to Success.
Oh,
and in our lives, Yes. And, it's changing paradigms, changing the way we've been taught. And what I like to do, other than just telling or giving instruction, I like to motivate, but I like to inspire. And the whole thing is to bring up a transformation. Because once we go and we transform, how we're really going. They say that life happens edge of your comfort zone. And what happens is when we get to the edge of our comfort zone, we're getting ready to step into ourselves, our true and authentic self. And sometimes we don't even have an authentic self, a true self, because we've been conditioned to believe that this is who I am. This is what's good for me. This is what I should do. This is how I should think. And don't get me wrong, as we grow up, there's a portion that we need from our peers and from society, but who we really are, we need to be able to unleash that. And I believe every one of us has the ability to do that. I call it the fire within. And it's been called many things. It's been called the spirit, love, power. I guess in Star Wars, they call it the force. But yes, but I call it the fire within because it's that thing that happens when you can't get any rest, or you feel like something is missing, and you're searching, and that's your true authentic self, ready to step out. It wants to unfold. It wants to do what it's here to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's I think for me on my journey, it was really interesting because it was well, I believe myself to be something or a certain way, or societal programming or whatever. And I guess I always felt there was this something missing, or I would feel like, how do I explain it? Because I wasn't operating as my own self or as my own person, I'd feel disjointed, like something was lacking in my life. And then for me, sometimes that would come out in terms of eating, and using food as a way to kind of cover that. And I didn't realize that those two were connected. I didn't realize that. And so once I had the courage, that's something you can fill us in on too, once I had the courage to really, to release my bondage of, these presents or whatever I want to say, these veils I had over me of what everyone said I should be or marketed, is I took them off slowly. It was a little scary, so.
Mm-hmm. Right. And here's the thing. It's like that when you said your true self, with all of us, actually, sometimes we see, or we feel like we can almost see through a veil. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that what you were searching for is actually yourself, who's trying to you to look here, look within. Here I am. And what we do is we search out there, and for what society and peers have told us, look, that's what you are. This is what you should be doing. But the truth is always inside who you really are, your authentic self. And I believe that's what that fire is. That fire is you.
Yeah. Yeah. So and sometimes that fire can be.
We step out.
Yep. Yeah. And it can be scary too, because you maybe never were used to listening to it. And so that fire, that when you finally have that aha moment, that might mean, and like for me, it meant total career change. It was like, whoa, that was so scary for me. Yes. And I had in my mind, I'm too old. Oh, I don't need to, and I listened to so many other people for so many years, and I put aside and I put it aside and I put it aside. And I tried other things that I thought would be more what others would want me to do. And finally I felt like there was a 2x4 that came and hit me in the head, just do it, and this can be scary sometimes,
Yes. And I've been told that when you feel that, and it's a little scary, that means you're actually heading in the right direction. Now you
Mhm.
are on the edge of your comfort zone, and now you're about to step across the threshold into who you really
Mhm.
are. And
Yeah.
man, I tell you, even with myself, I was thinking, well, I should do this, to make my life wholesome and complete. And it was what I was told I should be
Mhm.
doing.
Mhm. Mhm.
The thing is, what happens with us, a lot of us, we think that, well, we need this or we need that, or we're not good enough, or sometimes we're too old, or we're too young, or we don't look good enough, or too old, too short, too whatever it is. It's a multitude,
You're
and
hitting on
that.
every single one.
Yes, you know what? If you're a part of the human race, you've gone through that,
Yes.
and maybe, yeah, exactly. And I just say, if we don't step out and be our authentic self and let that happen, not only would it be a disservice to the world because the world needs it, it's also a disservice to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too,
Mhm.
sometimes what can be, and I don't know your thoughts on this and how you would help someone through this, but as you start to change, or maybe you start to, test the water of, being authentic to you and you as a person. And then it may mean that the people you've been hanging around with, or that you start to have different thought processes. And so what are your thoughts to help someone through that when you're with a group of, you've had relationships with a lot of people, and as you want to start to um, progress, there can be those that say, hey, we love it, we love it. And then there's others that maybe they're just a little uncomfortable with the new authentic you.
Yes, those who are supposed to continue on your path and be a part of it, they're going to understand.
Mhm.
And even those who don't agree with you or they are afraid, well, you just have to let them be that. You can't take it personally, you
Right.
know.
Yeah.
However, you don't stop. You have to continue to do it. And when you do that, the people, there will be people, courses, books, things will start uh, coming towards you. It'll be attracted to you because that is on your path. The things that you need will be on your path.
Mhm.
And those who don't go with it, well, let them do that. However, you have to continue on your path. That path, that dream, that vision was placed within you for a reason.
Mhm.
And I believe if you have a dream, if you have a vision, if you have a goal, then you absolutely have the capacity and the capability to make it come to fruition. But you have
Mhm.
to keep going. You have to, you know that someone may say, well, you know what? I'm right there with you. I'm going to support you. And then they get afraid or it seems like you're leaving them.
Mhm.
Well, the best thing you can do is continue to be yourself and to follow that path.
Mhm.
And well, hopefully they will see that and say, you know what? Ah, if he can
Mhm.
do it, or if she can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And we learn, we learn.
Yeah. And I think too, as people, as we start to, test the waters as our true selves, or learn even how to live as that person, because we've been living, a lot of our lives, again, um, partaking in what we believe society wanted us to be, or whatever it might have been, that as we start to do that, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, as we start to step out, it then, oh, this was what it was. Then we have the opportunity then to meet others. It's really interesting, kind of like you just said. Um, if we continue to change who we are to fit in, and we know that we're kind of we're modifying what our beliefs are. We're modifying everything about ourselves to try and fit in over here. We're actually missing out on meeting the people that are ideal and meant to be in our lives, Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said before, it's a disservice to the world if we don't step out and be our best selves.
Yeah.
And once we are our best selves, now we're not only watching other people do their thing, other people succeed, other people, whatever their idea of success is. Well, now what we're doing is getting ready to soar ourselves. It's been said, and I've used the analogy myself, that it's difficult to soar with eagles if you trot with turkeys. And not saying that
one more
there's anything
time.
wrong with
Say it one more time. Say it one more time.
Yes. It's difficult to soar with eagles if you trot with turkeys.
Yes.
So, and like I said, it's not, anything particularly against turkeys. If they're grounded, they're grounded. But if you want to soar, you have to step out. You have to be able to jump, take that leap, and you'll be soaring with other people who are doing the same thing. But if you don't, well.
Yeah. And I think too is one thing I found too is it had to be my goal, my dream, because I've tried to put other people's goals and dreams on my head too. And I would achieve the goal, or I would be successful, but I would always have like this horrible pit in my stomach, and then I'd crash and burn emotionally and everything. Yes. And so that was the other thing, is that it's taken me a while to, I think, when I was young, I think I had the little flame in there where I thought I knew where I was supposed to be in terms of my career and everything. But it took me a while to find it, because I would conform, and I would wander a little bit. But maybe we, for everyone, that in case you haven't found it or you're not quite there yet, just keep putting your toe out and keep, getting a little stronger. Like every muscle in the body, you work it and you get a little stronger, get a little more confident, more understanding of really what it is you want to do and to be. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. What inspired you? Actually, go ahead.
No, someone told me that you can't fail in being yourself, and that's absolutely true. When you are yourself and you're not trying to duplicate someone else, because all those roles have been taken, but when you yourself, man, things happen. It seems like it's almost like the Red Sea parts. It's almost like the sky opens up. It's amazing when you do that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's.
Yeah. I can't agree with you more. I just again, my health journey. I was pre-diabetic, a yo-yo dieter, all those things, and I was doing everything I could to be what I thought others thought I should be. I was trying to fit into molds. I was, and then it was always my body's fault that I wasn't successful. However, I got that in my head. If I was just perfect, if I would just be like this other person, if I just sounded like this other person, if I could just be as athletic as this other person. And I was just, and I realized even when I was extremely in great shape, years ago, very fit, and looked like everything was happening on the outside, I look at these photos and I realize I still was not living as my true self. So even though I had this persona, inside I was not feeling that way. And so the concept of, if we do that work within, and that fire within, and we get grounded with who we are, it changes everything, absolutely everything,
Yes. It's an ongoing process. And, once you start the process, sure, there are still challenges, but I mean, it's fun and you're looking forward. What I did, and to come back to who I am and what I believe my purpose is, and you probably heard it, it's been said a couple of different ways. What I did was I got somewhere and I got absolutely still and I got quiet and I asked myself, what would I do if I just knew I could not fail? What would I do if I knew money was not an object? What would I do? And it just rushed right in. I'm like, I would try to motivate and inspire people and make them happy and help them have transformations. And I would write. And I would write. And I would write. And that's what I do. And so when I started doing that, well, all the tools I needed to make things happen, to make my dreams come true, started coming to me. And they're still coming.
Yeah.
And I meet magnificent people such as yourself. It's a wonderful journey.
It really is. And I think too, if we look at it this way, as I used to think that once I met the goal I set, that had arrived, and then I didn't know what to do next. So that was some of my weight challenges. I would make the weight again, and then I didn't know what to do at that point. And what I realized is I hadn't been really focused on the journey and the day to day, and what was I doing, and the magic of the journey, and what was I learning, and then the concept. I love what you just said too, is that challenges still come, and they'll always come, and there's going to be hard days. But once I started paying attention to my journey and enjoying it,
yes.
enjoying my journey and realizing, okay, I made a goal, but I know I'll just make another one after that. Or if I fail, I learned something, and it's interesting. So my mindset is so different from that make a goal and then just be like, oh, okay, now what, but embracing that there's always gonna be something, always something.
Correct. I love it. There's always something. I mean, I took a leap of faith, if you can say that, because that's what it was. I'm like, I'm just going to do this. I've tried to do this, and I did things just for, make a lot of money, or this look good. This is what they're doing on TV. But that part never fulfilled me. But once I just said, you know what, I'm going to step out on faith. I'm going to do what I believe I should be doing. I call it living my own purpose. Once I do that, I'm going to see if this stuff works. And if it doesn't, it won't be because I didn't try. But let me tell you, it works. It works. It works.
And I think too, what you said, you got quiet and you were listening and you were asking the questions. And so, and it can be scary what the answer is sometimes, because you're like, whoa, how in the world am I ever going to do that? How can I ever make that happen? Or how am I ever going to lose the weight? Or how am I going to reverse my pre-diabetes? How in the world am I going to make a career? But when that mind does give you the answer, or your true self gives you the answer, then, and you can fill in here too, but it was sort of like, okay, let's start figuring it out. What do I need to do? What skills do I have to, learn? Who do I need to talk to? And then just embrace each day of that part of it, I guess, so go ahead.
You're absolutely right. With myself, things just started pouring out. When you ask yourself these questions, now, first off, it has to be the what. The why, I mean, or the why, and the hows, all of that will come later. I guarantee you. If you get the what and the why is important, all the hows will come. Slowly, sometimes fast, but the hows will come.
Yeah.
Your mind will find the way. Your intuition or that fire within or your authentic self will lead the way. And you'll be on the right path. I guarantee you.
So what
And
do you,
it's happened.
yes. So here's
Go
a
ahead.
good one. So
Go ahead.
what would you say to someone? Okay, but I have my why and I know my purpose and most of the hows are I can do that, but dang it, I don't like this one how.
Oh man, you know what?
I don't want to have to do this one, whatever it might be,
Well,
right? Because they're there.
I know what you mean. Yes, they are there. But the thing is, and it's sort of like what Jack Canfield said. You have to take 100% responsibility for where you are and what you want to do. And if you take 100% responsibility, then you can't be a victim. Then you can't blame anybody. Then it's all on you. And again, you just keep remembering life happens at that edge of your comfort zone. You just do it. You take that leap of faith.
Yeah.
If one person can do something, you can do it. It's the reason you have that dream. It's the reason you have that vision. It's the reason that's your purpose. And that's why you're still here. So do that. And if you need help, there's all kinds of help out there. There are coaches, there are books, there are people who are somewhat on the same path. They may not be on the exact, but there's help out there. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help.
Exactly. And I want to reiterate that one because I was one that I thought that if I had to ask for help, that meant I was weak or there was something wrong with me because I should be able to figure it out all by myself. That's where what part of my mind was. And once I released that and I realized, there's, people specialize for a reason because there's just so much information in all the different fields. It's very challenging, but one thing that's helped me too is to think, okay, maybe, let's be lifelong learners. Lifelong learner.
Absolutely.
You know
what? Yes. And even myself, I'm always learning. I'm listening. And when I'm having a conversation with someone, I'm listening. Even with us right now, you see, I have my pen and I have my pad because anything that you say that resonates with me, see, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. And exactly. And what happens is life gives you what you need to continue on, which is one reason that you and I have been on each other's shows. Where there's that connection. And life says you need help, you need guys, you need to be around like-minded people. Well, you will be attracted to you.
Yep. Yeah, and I think
you agree? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And then again, it's just I love that concept of once I realized that I was always going to be in the school of life. School's not over till it's literally over. But
exactly.
Once I realized it was lifelong learning and that things will always change, even though I may have a plan, I've become more let's put it up there. COVID-19 changed so many things. And because my mindset was so different than it, now than where it was 10, 15 years ago, I definitely navigated emotionally much better. And so, my thought is for that, knowing who you are, having that fire within can really help you navigate life's changes. Maybe it slows things slow down. Maybe you have to change a route to go where you thought you want, where you want to go, and being, and probably same for you. Things changed. You're a speaker, so you're not speaking in front of audiences of 500 to 1,000 people in person. It changed,
That's right.
right?
It changed. It did.
Yeah. So knowing who you were and having that fire within you to keep you, centered,
right.
you were still able to do so many things this year,
Even more in some ways.
Yep.
Even more. In a lot of ways, it's been one of my most productive years in the last 5 years. No, I was speaking to someone just yesterday, matter of fact, and I was saying that this thing of living my purpose on purpose, this being my own true self and having fun, even in the midst of challenges, it's now almost as if I was that wide-eyed kid again. You know how kids are full of wonder? Well, each day it's like, whoa, each conversation that I have with someone, each challenge, and challenges they're not always fun, but in a lot of ways, my life is just full of wonder, and as I go on this path, on this journey, I don't know what's going to happen, but my eyes are wide and I'm excited because I am living. I am still here and I am learning.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot believe it, but it's been 30 minutes.
Wow.
How does that happen?
See, living our purpose on purpose.
I think so. I'm sure it was only 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. So gosh, Charles, I'm so happy I finally was able to get you on this show. And everybody watching, in the comments or in the post, are some links where you can follow Charles. He's on Instagram as Charles Ellis. You can go to his website, thefirewithingroup.com. And that's where you can find his books and some other things like that. But definitely follow him. He's just so inspirational and always just so positive. And I love that he's always speaking gratitude. And you remind me to be, filled with gratitude. And because some days are just hard. And you just seem to always finish your post with gratitude. So I just love that. Yeah. So
thank you.
You're welcome. So, anything you'd like to send our viewers off with before we sign off?
And you mentioned something about, it seems like I'm positive. And yes, I do have challenges. And I've had people ask me, how do you stay so positive? And how do you stay so excited? And I say that it's not that I don't have challenges like everyone else. It's just that I don't allow myself to stay in that space for any long length of time. I look at it, I acknowledge it because it is there, and I move on.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. Trust yourself. Trust yourself that you have the ability to create your ideal life. You have to believe it and have gratitude. I call it gratitude with a capital G.
Gratitude with a capital G. Can't say it any better. Okay, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And again, Charles, thank you for being here. Signing off from Your Personal Journey with Food. Tough Love Tuesday. Talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.